Hey, what's going on, chess lovers? This is Maurice Bishop Chess. Y'all know my slogan: "Life is a game of chess." All right, guys, I want to share with y'all a beautiful, beautiful game that I played against a strong chess player and call themselves Try Hard, rated 2693. Very, very strong. I played the Elshad System, and I'm pretty sure all y'all Elshad System lovers are definitely going to appreciate this Elshad System game. Very, very tactical. I love it. Obviously he played as white, I played as black. So without further ado, let's actually get started. So my opponent plays knight f3. I go c6, g3, d6, bishop g2, knight d7. He castles kingside. I go h6, then d4, and then knight g f6. C4, g5, knight c3, bishop g7, e4, and then I go queen c7. Now, I'm gonna tell you why Queen C7, guys. I'm gonna tell you why. Uh, I go Queen C7 because again, guys, I found out that if I go Queen C7, it's gonna almost come off as if I'm playing the Black Lion. The only difference about this is my bishop is on G7 instead of me going E5 and bishop E7. So it's not considered a Black Lion because again, my E5 pawn is not moved yet, and then my bishop is on the wrong square, is on bishop E7. So usually, if I go bishop G7, most likely I'm playing the L shot. But this move, Queen C7, can confuse a lot of people. And the thing is, it's almost like a psychological thing, guys. What I realized, because usually when you get these pawn structures like this, usually they want to push on E5. But it's gonna be hard for him to push on E5 because I'm defending that square three times with the pawn on D6, the knight on D7, and the queen on C7 as well. So I'm guarding it three times. So by him pushing that pawn, he'll make me be up a pawn, which is what I was looking at. However, guys, I've been in a position where I did, instead of going queen c7, I go knight f8. So I had a position where I go, or my opponent goes e5, I take, he takes, and then queen captures d1. Uh, while he takes, I go knight g4, hitting um his pawn on e5. Now I had a situation where some players push on e6, and I just take right away. Or I had a situation where somebody defend with e5, and defending the e5 point, and then I just come over with e5. And I had an opponent that played e6. I take, he takes, and then I hit him with knight d e5, where the rook is trapped and my bishop is hitting his rook. Obviously, he didn't. Obviously, in the actual game, he never resigned. He resigned later on in the game because he wound up dropping a piece. But yeah, as you can see, this is just winning for me. So it doesn't really matter, you know, uh, how white plays it, or black seems to always get an advantage. So I just wanted to show y'all that. All right, but in this game, guys, I played Queen C7. I played it almost as if it was like I was playing a Black Lion. It almost seems similar. The only difference is my pawn is not on E5 and my bishop is not on E7. It's on G7. All right, so bishop E3 and I go knight F8 right off the bat. And the whole purpose, guys, you already know I want to go knight G6. Again, I'm not really scared of E5 because I do have knight G4 threatening where I'm trying to get the dark square bishop. So my opponent goes knight d2, and then I go knight g6 automatically. I'm covering the e5 square, guarding it three times again. And also, white is not going to want to play f4 because, again, it will be opening up his king side a little bit more, which is not very good for him, you know. So he goes b4, and I think with him, like I said, it's a lot of strong players who don't really know how to play against this type of opening, this L shot. And as I always tell y'all, you're gonna always have somebody that's trying to um, push so much into the center and do a lot of pawn pushes to think that they'll have some type of advantage and they can just run all over you like a bully. And little do they know that the more you keep pushing into the center, the more you're gonna cause yourself to get weaknesses. So it's almost like so think about it like this: a person who's always throwing haymakers, and when you're throwing haymakers, uh, you leaving yourself open to get hit at the right time and at the right moment, and that's pretty much what my opponent is doing. So I hit him with knight g4. Again, hitting the dark square bishop. For all y'all that already know, for all y'all that's in my Maurice Bishop Chess University, you already know that if you can win the dark square bishop, you are golden, and you will start to gain, uh, you know, dark square weaknesses in your opponent's position. A4 is played. Notice, guys, it didn't matter what White did because again, his dark square bishop can't move anywhere. So I didn't have to. I didn't have to rush to take his dark square bishop. And I always highly encourage never be rushed to take a dark square bishop, especially in a position like this. And the reason why I say this position because I actually have the ability to actually open the king side even more. So and plus the thing about this guys is you have to kind of balance this out. You kind of got to do a balance on a scale. Would I rather give up this beautiful good post knight for this bad bishop right here that can't move anywhere, or could I just do something where I can open up the king side even more? Because again, guys, with the Elshad system, we don't care about material. We don't care about material. We're all about trying to mate the person, which is why I played h5. Of course, my opponent played b5. I thought this was wrong, and I think this gave me a clear advantage after this h4 move, because now I'm really opening up his position. Remind you, the pawn or white is not going to want to play h3 due to, again, knight captures e3, and if he takes, I could just take. Now the king is open, and now I'm threatening bishop captures h3, which is very, very dangerous for white. And yeah, this is not really good. This is kind of like self-explanatory. It's very bad for white. All right. So after the ace forward move, my opponent played bishop captures on g5. So you're probably wondering, thinking like, man, you supposed to get the dark square bishop and everything. Settle down, guys. It's all good, and I'm gonna tell you why it's all good. Because after h captures on g3, what can white do after this? Well, he goes h capture g3. Now remind you, notice that he didn't go f capture g3. If he would have went f capture g3, then I get him with bishop captures d4 check. Notice he doesn't want to block with rook f2 because again I have bishop captures f2 check, or I have knight captures f2 where I'm hitting the queen, but also this knight on c3 is undefended, which is why I chose to do that. Because again, guys, if you really look back, I want to show y'all something. When I went h4 and everything, you have to see that this pawn on d4, once this dark square bishop moves, this pawn on d4 is undefended. So you got to look at, for instance, like in martial arts school, guys. In martial arts school, you know how like when your sensei tells you to break the board, and they always tell you to break the board, the weakest spot is the center of that board. And if you can hit the center of the board, it will break because the wood is that center focal point. It is the weakest area that you want to hit because once you hit that, it breaks. And it's the same thing when you hit your opponent in a specific pressure point. They fall. They can't handle the pressure. So the way I look at it is, I made a move where I can push in the center, almost like a pressure point. So I figure if this bishop moves out the way and takes the pawn, then I can attack in the center. And by me attacking in the center, it's pretty much a done deal. Like I'm winning this game. So, and it's pretty much what happened, guys. So after bishop captures g5, I hit in the center. I chose the center over, getting this. Because once you get the center, is great. But of course, obviously, guys, I'm going to take the pawn first. And then, again, this is what I was talking about. If he takes with the f pawn, bishop captures d4 check. And as you can see, I want to show y'all the score, the big advantage. As you can see, black got like a 12.7, which is a big advantage for black. Big advantage for black. Even the stuff like king h1, as you can see, this is checkmate right here. Rook captures h2. This is the reason why taking the f pawn is really bad. But also, this is a reason why Bishop captures g5 is not necessarily a good move because you give me the center, and once I gain control of that center, especially with this dark square bishop, your stuff, your position pretty much falls down. Which is why after that, I would actually take with the knight, and this is just man, this is just nasty, guys. This is like some nasty stuff. So I wanted to show y'all that. All right, so bishop catches g5, ace catches g3, bishop catches d4. So notice instead of taking on the f point, he took with the h point, which is the better move, right? So bishop catches d4. Obviously, the pawn cannot, you know, move anywhere because the bishop on d4 is pinning the f2 pawn. So, which is why my opponent plays knight e2, which is a typical move because you want to get the dark square bishop out the way. The problem with this, guys, is he should have maybe played rook c1, but I think in this position, knowing him, I think white wanted my dark square bishop because he sees that the dark square bishop is causing a lot of issues, or it will cause major issues, which is why he decided to give up um, his rook for my dark square bishop, which is very active, and which I took. I took it, and he takes, and then I go f6. And the only reason why I took, guys, because the thing is, I'm also looking at the position where that this dark square bishop is not going to be able to really do too much. Because even after like I said, if he goes bishop e3, I could definitely take his dark square bishop as well. So it's really not a problem. But my opponent decided to mess up my pawn structure by going c5. Uh, the whole point, guys, if I decide to take and everything, it's not really. I don't really like it because I mean, bishop e3. Yeah, knight f3 is probably a lot better. Yeah, because he got knight e5 and then yeah. So, but black still has that advantage as y'all can see. But he goes c5. But I technically really believe that his whole point was to get his knight to c4, which is personally my opinion. I think that was his point. He wanted to come knight c4 and maybe bring the rook over to c1 to do some things. So I think that's what he really was trying to do. But my bad, guys. Uh, yeah. So after C catches b5, bishop e3, and then I just automatically took his dark square bishop. Because I feel as though if I take the dark square bishop now, I'll be golden. And then also, I kind of like my position now because after he goes f captures e3, I immediately go queen captures c5, where I'm actually hitting queen captures e3. Um, he goes king f2, defending the e pawn, and then I go knight e5, and now I'm threatening knight g4, where I can go queen captures e3. So of course my opponent decides to go queen d4, and I go knight g4 check. King g1. I realized the engine wanted me to go knight captures e3. Maybe that was the best move. I don't know. But I didn't do that. I didn't do that at all. The move that I played queen h5. Uh, Yeah, so after knight g4 check, he goes king g1. Instead of taking this pawn, I went queen h5. That was me. My opponent didn't. Did he play? No, he didn't even play knight f3, which was the crazy part. He didn't even play that. But I decided to go queen h5. I thought it was better for me at the time. But he takes, I go bishop d7. He goes queen d4, and I go bishop b5. And the whole purpose of me going bishop b5, guys, is because I wanted to actually threat maybe queen h2, you know, uh, really queen h2, and then if the king goes f1, I could go queen captures g3. The knight can't take because the bishop will be pinning this knight because the king will be on f1, which was my plan. This is what I was thinking of, right? So he blocks it with knight c4, which is actually the correct move. And then I go king f8. And I went king f8 because I wanted to get out any type of danger. I wanted to, you know, uh, get out the way pretty much. Queen d5. As you can see, now he's trying to exchange queens, but also he's hitting as y'all call, he's hitting my light square bishop as you can see. So instead of actually doing all of this stuff, I actually go queen h2 check. The only move that he can go is king f1. And the move that I played was, guys, I know y'all probably can see it. I went bishop captures c4. It doesn't matter what he does. If he goes rook catches c4, I hit him with knight catches e3 check, and now I'd be hitting his queen and his rook. Obviously, I want to, win the queen, which is what I want to do. All right. And even if he does take the queen on this side, he still get hit with the check, and I'm hitting the queen. Simple as that. So, but these are a lot of tricks that the Elshad can do, guys. Just gotta pay attention for it, look at it. So, but anyway, after king f1, when I take, he goes queen d4, and then I hit him with the move queen captures g3. And notice, guys, it's really nothing that white can do at all in this position. It doesn't matter what he does, whether he takes whether he takes my light square bishop with the rook, or if he takes with my queen. Doesn't matter. I hit him with checkmate. Um, Even if he decides to go king g1, I still hit him with checkmate either way because the rook on here is guarding the h file. So either way, black is still golden and black wins. All right. Uh, but yeah, so it's pretty crazy, guys. But anyway, guys, I really hope you enjoy this video. If you like it, make sure you like, share, comment. Let me know what you think. And also, guys, if you like this opening, the Elshad system for black and also for white, definitely enroll into Maurice Bishop Chess University. Definitely enroll yourself in, guys. Again, very affordable price. If you go on my link below, guys, you'll be able to book an appointment with me so that we can talk about exactly how you want to get better, what you need to learn, you know, and everything, guys. And it's pretty easy, guys. So again, hit me up, guys. You already know where to find me. And also, guys, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. All right, guys.